Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Rhoslc with Diva D. This is gonna be my episode real recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I am not going to go scene by scene. Not worth it. I know what y'all came here for. We're gonna get to the end. So first of all, I just want to say that Mary. My heart goes out to you. I have a personal situation where I have begged, I have pleaded, I have done everything possible to get my family member clean into different facilities. I almost lost his life several times in brutal beatings, and nothing. Still gets high and drunk to this day. The main thing is right now is to try to keep him out the streets. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. So let's get to the light. In the beginning of the episode, what we're trying to do is set up a campfire community dinner with all the girls so we can get back to doing rebuilding exercise. Whitney and Heather, I'm sick of it. This is the type of stuff that you all decide to do every time there is conflict in the group. Do better. I am so sick of these. And I understand. Because, there's a bit of arrested development there with Heather. It's obvious. In my opinion. It's my opinion. Shout out to town. Over there on the OC. But at the same damn time, it ain't working. So the next thing we get to Meredith and Mary. So Meredith and Mary decide to meet at some gallery of some sort, and they decide to come together and be friends again. But first of all, Meredith, you're late. We sick of you, Meredith. You are the one who took everything out of context when you were arguing with Aunt K. Okay? I think that she meant for the argument to cease. And that was just anyway. So next thing we know, we get to the campfire and Mary throws off on Meredith and says, if she wasn't written way out somewhere, then I would have been. Sometimes I can't understand everything Mary said. I would have been able to find her, or I would have been on time. But here's the thing. Got a little tea to throw in there. Allegedly, Mary's $7 million mansion that she owns is in foreclosure, though. Be careful about karma, okay? And it's a cold bitch, and it will bite you in the ass, okay? Be careful what you say about people and their finances. That's why I always use the up today and down tomorrow scenario my mama used to always give us. Do not talk about people and their finances. Do not call people poor. Do not talk about people's clothes and where they live. Because making fun of the poor can turn right around and bite you in the ass. And even though Meredith is not poor, it's the reason why they throw off on her for rent. Okay? It's probably cheaper for her to rent something just to show off on the show. So they get to the campfire. Everybody gets into it, right? Mary tells Lisa she's fake. She's the fakest friend in the whole group, and she's nobody's friend in the entire group. Did she lie? No, she did not. But Lisa is in the mindset that everything is supposed to be Whitney's fault. Wendy. Whitney's fault. It's hard to do the Whitney and the Whitney sometimes. It's Whitney's fault. And no, I disagree with you there. I think everything in every disagreement, point at yourself. Go look at your wrinkled crow's feet eyes in the mirror and look at yourself, Leatherface. It's you. You're the problem. And a part of it is because Heather wants to be your friend so bad that I'm blaming Heather as well. She puts the friendships in the group at risk to bend over backwards to please you. Heather is now in the mean girl clique. She's the running with the Regina George of the group, and she thinks that she's the cool kid now. Child, girl, go on somewhere. Lose a little weight. Get that jaw shaved now. Okay? Worry about that. You got the money to do that. Get that done. Then I might give you some credit. Otherwise, stay on over there. Lose some weight and think that you are now a part of Lisa's clique. You will never be a part of Lisa's clique. She uses everyone. You will see, my dear. I'm talking directly to you. You are messing up your image to be friends with Leatherface. And I said what I said. I call it Leatherface. Have you ever seen how leather shrinks and balls up into a knot when it when it gets older and it starts to wrinkle? That's Lisa. But then she tans so much she turns brown. Lisa. So Bronwyn throws everybody under the bus. Now, Bronwyn, I like you, but you becoming unlikable. Okay? You're that kind of friend that throw shit back up in people's faces. Nobody likes that kind of friend. And even though me and my best friend bump heads quite a bit, that's Scorpio energy, child. We can't help it. But I'm going to tell you this. It's one thing we don't do. Now, to each other, we may say, well, you remember when I did this for you? And no. We don't do it in public. In the words of the great Wendy Williams, some things are kitchen table talk. And you hadn't learned that. You'll do anything to keep your name clean and to keep people off your ass. But at times, you deserve it. Okay? You're not innocent. You're not innocent. You say your shit too. And Andrew K. clocked you. And it was amazing how you and Angie got into it because you can't hold your peace. She could have been an ally for you. Because Angie K is about into it with everybody because she chose to befriend Mary. And now Meredith is jealous of the friendship between Angie K and Mary. But the reason why they clicked is because Angie K and Mary realized that, you were using her. Yeah, you were using Meredith because she didn't have anybody to kick it with. And you were on the outs for spreading people's business through rumors. Yeah. And Whitney, talking to you as well. You messy. All of y'all got y'all ish. But in this particular season, Mary is a star. And you know what? I'm going to tell you like I tell the rest of them. I've always known it. Y'all, the audience, didn't know it. So we get to Mary. And I'm just going to try to breeze right through this and be as sensitive as I can talking about it. She knocks on Robert Jr.'s door. He's sleeping as usual. So she talks to him. She's like, baby, what are you planning on doing for today? Talking to him as gentle as she can. Oh, well, I have no plans. See, one thing that's his problem is he's spoiled. Don't get it twisted. And so she says, well, I love you, right? Yeah. So he comes clean. What have you been doing all day? Well, Mom, I took a Xanax. And then it rolls on from there. And I did what I could to ease the pain. And then she said, what's next? Then I take Xanax and acid because I have to come. Well, you know what Xanax does? Calms you down, and acid lifts you up. So you need something to calm you down, lift you up. Then he said he tried Snow White, and then it spiraled into a full-blown addiction. And when you're on downers, that's the word of the understanding. See, he's talking about he took perks and all that stuff, and then wasn't even bothering him. When you get on the D word, the downers and things like that, your body zones out. You lose emotion. So he said he wanted to take himself off the earth permanently. And she cried, which I do all the time for my family member that's in the throes of addiction. When I tell you, if you haven't seen it directly, seeing someone, doing it to themselves and can't control it, it's a sad thing to watch. And the whole scene, I sat up here and almost broke down in tears because she was crying out for her son to get clean. She said, I want to get you some help, son. I mean, if you weren't here, I would lose my life. I would lose myself. When you came into this world, I had nothing. I was alone. Why? You did it partially to yourself, too, because you was alienated from your family because you married your grandpapa daddy. Okay? Step. Because I never judge you about marrying somebody that's not related to you, but the reasoning behind it, and the reasoning behind it, it was control. And then to ice out the whole alleged, and to ice out your entire family from your grandmother's fortune, that was wrong. And now, in a way, you're getting back what you put out there. Karma again. Coming to check on you. And then you put your whole life, because of the stigma of what you were going through, you put your whole life into that boy. And that boy has disappointed you. He was so smart. He was this, that, and the third. Yes, he was. He probably was all those things. But when you put your whole self into one person, that one person that you put your whole self into, especially when you have done people so wrong to get to where you are, allegedly, that will come back to bite you in the ass. That will be the one person that disappoints you the most. But I'm going to end there and say I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because I mostly 100% felt for you. And see, Papa Daddy is letting you pretty much handle all this stuff on your own. We hadn't seen him. If he's around, I don't know anything about it. Anything about it. Okay? So, Papa Daddy was young. If this story shakes out the way Mary says it shook out, he was younger than Grandma. Grandma, in some ways, groomed you to marry him. It's all sick, really. Ugh. Okay? But in Utah and different places like this, where you in such these religious communities, it happens more often than you think. The grooming. That's what I'm saying. So, in many ways, Mary and her son, and you can't help but to come out looked up. Because I think you were barely out of your teens when that motherfucker married you. What, were you 21? 20 even? Sick. And he sitting up here, somebody's granddad. He probably looking at that little girl the whole time, every time she came over there to see her grandma. Yeah. Now that, because I'm clearly, mama wanted somebody in the family to have her money because Robert probably was robbing her blind, allegedly. So they probably looking at her like, yeah. Mama, that's the one I want. Because they all call her mama. That's the one I want. Get that one over here. She's a pretty lady. Pretty little girl. Give that one to me. So mama, I want you to go ahead and talk to her. Be talking to her while she's in her teens. So you can groom her to marry me. So we can keep the fortune in the family. But the problem was, she asked out everybody else. And then she asked out her mother, which was second in line to get the fortune. But according to them, somebody would have had to marry Papa Dad. Child, I can't make this stuff up. Sick, twisted. Throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I think about it. But it is what it is. Little Robert Jr. is here now. So let's keep Mary wrapped up in love and send her all the positive energy that we can. So next, it's the Shabbat dinner. Oh, beautiful. Baby, every time I see that Shabbat bread in my mouth waters. That's the only thing I could treasure about any religion is baby when they come together and eat. Other than that, out of it. All man's way to control, in my opinion. Really a fact, but it's in here nor there. But so they had the Shabbat dinner, and Meredith is now feeling some kind of way because she knows, and the table knows, that Mary is clearly going through something. So you're a friend and you're just not noticing that. But at the campfire dinner, let me go back there to that because that reminds me of what happened at the Shabbat table. They said some things in this scene where they were talking about each other's children. So I assumed that Lisa brought up the Robert's drug addiction, and then it cut. And you could tell it was sliced up because I was sitting there waiting. I said, is this the episode where Mary calls Lisa's son Blood Darted? And so she probably said that in retaliation to what Lisa said. Because I'm pretty sure, because Lisa it's one thing about Lisa. You could pump her head up as much as you want to and tell her she's a great mom. She don't have confidence in believing that she's a great mom because she knows that she is clearly watching it on TV, in my opinion, neglectful. Period. It might not be severe, but it's definitely there. She's not a hands-on parent. That's one thing. And little Henry is so young. He's a young fellow. She has time to fix what she broke with Jack. But she continued to be that girl. And see, that's what's important to her. That's why I said she's about as deep as a puddle on a cold day. Very shallow. We're back to the Shabbat dinner. So, Brittany, of all people who Mary can't stand, she brings Jerry. Child, that's a sick obsession. It really is. Ugh. Disgusting. I hate to see women, beautiful women at that, neglect their children and do all these things to run up and behind a man because your religion tells you it's best to be married than to be by yourself and raise your children by yourself. That's one religion that I don't need to be a part of. And then when I was going for the NOI, and then I was dating a guy who was 26, 27. I was 37, 38. Now it's 38. And then it had to be the other way around. I can't remember. It was like something like 7 times your age minus 7 years. I said, so because he found out I was 38 and he talked to his imam and he said that I was too old and couldn't produce children, which I produced 2 after him. He just wasn't a man I was supposed to have children with, I guess. So it's supposed to be that your wife is supposed to be 7 years times 2 younger than her, younger than you. So he's 27, so that would have made his wife 17. I said, and I told him in a long text, I could not be a part of a religion that's encouraging you to be a damn pedo. Hadn't talked to him since. Blessings be unto me. I'm just saying. If you look deeply into these religions, and I don't want to get too deep into them, that's the kind of shit they promote. And this woman has literally neglected her child for a man that don't want her. Her children. Her daughters don't speak to her. Child, I cannot make this stuff up. But she brings it up and they go around the table and they realize that something is very heavy going on with Mary. Okay, now you feel like it. Now you want to fall back off her and give her some space. Stop judging her and all that. You wait till you get to the dinner and the round table around each other to come up with that. When in all actuality, deep down in my soul, I believe that you all knew from the jump street that something was going on with Robert Jr. And that campfire scene, to me, probably told the story. But that's going to end my episode recap of Salt Lake City. It was a good episode. It was deep, compelling, touching, everything that will pull at your heartstrings. If you have not seen it, I do recommend it. And for anyone that's going through, has a family member that's going through addiction, please understand that if nobody understands, I do. I feel you from deep down in my soul. I understand where you're coming from. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Before I do, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Help me get to that 4,000 hours. I'm just at the threshold. I see that little line going by, just teeter-totter, 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 no way. But it'll go back. Yeah, go up, go down. See, that's how YouTube does, especially Afro content creators. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Also, share the video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is caring. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces.